Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me today. It can be really lonely when you're speaking only to yourself, so it's nice to have your company. I love Advent, and I love Christmas and all the excitement and the lights and the warm homes and the lovely food. Oh, I love all the lovely food. I wanted to do something special this year because we can't go out and about as much as we'd like to, so I thought, wouldn't it be lovely to tell a couple of stories and to open an Advent calendar together rather than only do it by myself? So these 24 daily broadcasts are going to include a story that goes out over the full 24 days of Advent about a bear finding out about the true story of Christmas, the making of a stable scene with a new piece being added each day, and a second, slightly longer story to help you go to sleep at night. I really do hope that you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's hear about a little bear called Benjamin and the story that his mother read to him. I'm reading it from this book. Okay. So this is the first day of the story. Benjamin was tucked in his warm bed, but he couldn't fall asleep. When will Christmas finally be here? He asked Mother Bear. You have to be patient, Benjamin, said Mother. But tomorrow you can open the first door of your Advent calendar, and we will begin our journey to Bethlehem. How far is Bethlehem? Asked Benjamin. Mother Bear smiled. 24 stories away. And then it's really Christmas? Mother Bear nodded and gave Benjamin a big kiss on the nose. Good night now, little one. So we hear the first story that she told him. On December the 1st, just before bed, Benjamin Bear opened the first door on his Advent calendar. Oh, look, a star with a tail, he cried. Once upon a time there was a little bear, just like you. He discovered a star one night shining in the sky above his cave. He had never seen such a bright star before. It was a very special star indeed, because the little bear, full of curiosity, felt compelled to follow it. He ran over hills and mountains, swam across a wide river, and climbed the steepest rocks. But the little bear finally got so tired that he had to stop and rest. He lay down and fell fast asleep. When he awoke, he sprang up in a panic. My star! Where is my star? I lost my star, he cried. How surprised he was to see the tail of the star shining brighter than the sun. The little bear set out again, relieved and even more determined to follow the wondrous star. When Mother Bear finished the story, Benjamin pointed to the star. Look at it shine, he said happily. Yes, said Mother. Remember that God is with you night and day to show you the way. And tomorrow night, we're going to hear the next story that Mrs. Bear told Benjamin. But for now, we're going to move on and open our Advent calendar ourselves. So every night this week, between now and the 24th of December, I'm going to build up a little nativity scene for us. There'll be a new character every night, and the character is going to appear inside this knitted sock. just like you're going to hang probably on the side of your bed or on your door handle on that 24th night, hopefully for Father Christmas to come and fill it. So shall we see what the first character in our nativity is? I wonder if you can guess what it might be. I have to say that some of these characters are a little bit strange. This is our first character. It's a man carrying some wood that he's obviously chopped down with an axe. I wonder if you've got a tree in your house at the minute. I wonder if you've put it up and decorated it with lights and fancy tinsel or baubles or something like that. Should we put our little man who's cut his wood tree down, should we put him somewhere in our nativity scene? We'll do that now. There he is. And he's the first one. Come back tomorrow and see what the second one is. Okay, so it's time for our second story. This one is called The Arrival, and I hope you're sitting comfortably. When Grandfather Moses Woodgnome came out of his cave with a basket of firewood, the moon had just appeared in the sky. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, he mumbled into his beard. If I don't want my 2 grandchildren to become popsicle gnomes, I'll have to keep them nice and warm. Moses piled the firewood under the sheltering branches of his live oak. He set it alight and hung a pot of soup on the crackling fire. Then he hurried back to his cave because he still had a lot of things to prepare. High up in Moses' life tree sat 2 owls with thick, puffed up feathers. "Hoo hoo, Mamma, did you see that?" asked the ever-hungry owlet. Her sharp eyes had noticed several blades of grass moving, but there were no animals to be seen. "Oh, they're just the little people, like Grandfather Moses," explained Mother Owl. "But they're wearing their camouflage cloaks, which make them invisible." "Hoo, do little people taste nice?" asked the owlet. "No," cried Mother Owl, quite horrified. "Nobody ever eats little people. They're our friends, and they often help us forest creatures." "Ooh, and where do they live?" asked the owlet. Said Mother Owl thoughtfully. "Actually, they're all over the world. Some of them even live in the houses of big people. But because they're so small and wear their invisible cloaks, you hardly ever see them." "And why have they come here now?" "Wiggly worms and wasp stings. How should I know?" sighed Mother Owl. "Just keep quiet and listen. Maybe then you'll find out." "Grandfather, Grandfather, we're here!" shouted some voices down below. All the gnomes took off their camouflage cloaks. The 2 children, Willa and Willie, now appeared with their father, Theo, who was carrying a heavy backpack. The 4 gnomes greeted one another, as little people do. They rubbed their noses together 3 times and said, "Nim nam nommy." "It's nice that you've come so early," said Grandfather Moses, eyes shining. "Now we'll have lots of time to talk and eat. Did you have a good journey? How's your mother?" He wrapped the children in soft deerskin blankets and they sat down next to the warm fire. "Oh, it wasn't too far," said little Willie. "We met a fox. Willa was so scared she almost wet herself, but he was quite friendly because he recognised Papa. Once, long ago, Papa had pulled a thorn out of the fox's paw, So he let us sit on him and he carried us here. That was really cool. I didn't nearly wet myself, cried his twin sister Willa. I just had a little fright. But the fox was really nice. And Mama gets very tired these days and is so round that she almost rolls out of bed. When the babies finally come, I'm sure she'll feel better. Willa looked at her father. He nodded to Moses and said, yes, at the moment, Mona needs plenty of rest and has to stay in bed as much as possible. But that's difficult when you've got two boisterous children running around the house. Thank you, Grandfather Moses, for letting them stay with you for a while. I'll come and fetch them as soon as the babies arrive. No problem, laughed Grandfather Moses. I'm delighted to have you all here. We three are sure to have a great time. But first of all, you shall all have a bowl of good strong soup before I show you where you're going to sleep. I'll be happy to have some soup with you, said Theo, but then Finley Fox will take me home. I don't want to leave Mama too long on her own. Grandfather Moses nodded and poured the steaming vegetable soup out of the pot. Then for a while there was nothing to be heard except a lot of satisfied slurping. Thank you for everything, Moses, said Theo at last, and stood up. In the backpack you'll find the children's things and some presents from Mona. I'm going home now. The children embraced their father. Nim nam nommy, Papa, look after Mama. Theo hugged the children tight. Then he whistled through his fingers. Immediately at the edge of the forest there appeared a dark, lithe shadow. My taxi fox is here, said Leo. Be good children and don't cause your grandfather any trouble. I'm depending on you. Nim nam nommy. Willa and Willie waved to Theo as he left, and then they and their grandfather cuddled up close to the warm fire again. Will you please tell us a story? Moses gave each of the children a thick slice of nut cake. Then for a moment he closed his eyes, as if he wanted to see something inside of his head. After that, he told them a lovely story. Nim nam nommy. Tomorrow we're going to hear what that story is, I think. Sometimes a story leaves us with a lot of questions still to ask. I was left wondering a lot of things after reading this one. I wonder what the story was all about. I wondered what it was that he said to them and whether we'll find that out tomorrow, I wonder. What happened to the children's mother? How many babies did she have? I wonder what happened to the fox that gave a lift to Theo. And I wonder what the story was that Grandfather Moses told the children. Asking questions is a good thing to do. My children used to always ask why. Why does this happen? Why does that work? Do you like asking questions? Oops, there's another question. I told you I like asking them. Well, thank you for listening to me today, and I hope that you enjoyed the tales I told. Tomorrow we continue the story of Benjamin Bear and his journey to the stable, and also we're going to hear about an accident-prone little girl called Claire, which may well have been the story that Grandfather Moses told to his two grandchildren. Maybe we'll find out. Until then, good night and take care.